While washing Chloe's panties, I noticed a small hole on the lace trimmed the unmistakable circular burn mark from a cigarette. My hands trembled. I'd quit smoking over a year ago, and Chloe never touched cigarettes. My mind raced as I stood frozen in the bathroom, clutching the incriminating garment. The more I thought about it, the sicker I felt. That's when my phone buzzed with a text. "Working late again, babe. Don't wait up." I'd personally pulled strings to get Chloe that cushy HR assistant job at a private firm precisely because it required minimal overtime. Yet suddenly she's working till 10 p.m. every night? My knuckles whitened around my phone as I typed. "What time? I'll pick you up." "Oh, don't bother. You're in chaos here. No idea when I'll finish." She replied instantly. I drove straight to her office building. Lights glowed on her floor. Muffled voices carrying through the glass doors. Hiding in the stairwell. I called. "I'm downstairs. Can't have my girl walking home alone." "What?" "No. I told you not to come." Panic sharpened Chloe's usually sweet tone. The elevator dinged minutes later. My blood turned to ice as Chloe emerged lip-locked with Ethan, the smarmy VP from her company team photos. His designer-suited hands roamed freely over her body as they kissed. "Your boyfriend's so attentive," Ethan mocked between slobbery kisses. "Ugh, don't mention that clingy loser." Chloe giggled, grinding against him. "He almost ruined our last video call, remember?" Ethan's laugh echoed through the lobby. "Why not let him wait here while we continue our meeting?" Recognition slammed into me. This wasn't their first office rendezvous. The security camera footage from last month's urgent Zoom call suddenly made horrifying sense. They'd been using my concern against me, getting off on the risk of getting caught. As Ethan turned, the lobby lights illuminated his smug face, the same arrogant expression he'd worn in Chloe's vacation photos. This walking HR violation had been gaslighting me for months, treating my devotion like a joke. Every fiber of my being screamed to confront them, but I forced myself to stay hidden. They wanted drama? I'd give them a show they'd never forget, just not on their terms. I suddenly didn't want to confront them face to face anymore. Tearing off that thin veil of pretense would only lead to a fight or a breakup with Chloe, which felt too easy for those two. Before she stepped into the elevator, I secretly snapped a photo of their intertwined hands. I took the stairs down, finding Chloe already waiting by the car. Feigning ignorance, I said, "I thought you'd be longer." So I used the restroom on the first floor, perhaps annoyed by my accidental interruption of their rendezvous. She rolled her eyes imperceptibly and pouted. "It ended early. Hurry up and unlock the door. I'm freezing." She pretended exhaustion during the drive, keeping her eyes closed. Perfect. I didn't want conversation either, fearing I'd blurt out accusations about her betrayal. That night, I checked her phone while she slept. The messages made my blood boil. Chloe and Ethan had been carrying on for months. She joined the company in June, started flirting with Ethan by August, and recently crossed the final line, using overtime as cover for their office affairs. While those two snakes were tangled in bedsheets, I'd been home like an idiot, cooking Chloe's meals, doing her laundry, worrying about her safety, dreaming about our future. Her texts to Ethan mocked me. Of course he fawns over me. I'm gorgeous. He's easy to control, never questions me, and spends freely. Marriage? Maybe. My parents want someone richer. She even sneered. What's good about your old hag? Divorce her, and I'll dump him. Thousands of messages lashed at me like whips. Chloe was right. I'd never doubted her before. Never checked her phone or questioned her whereabouts. That's why she'd kept these conversations. Watching her sleep now, I felt physical revulsion. Next morning, her phone rang while she did makeup. She answered formally. "Hello, Ethan?" "Yes. I'll arrive early to review those documents." When I asked if work demanded urgency, she nodded. Year-end rush. Probably overtime again. I eyed her crimson lips and skin-tight dress. Feigning concern. "Let me find you a better job. This is too exhausting." "No," she snapped, then forced a laugh. "I mean, it's fine. Young people should work hard. Besides, you already pulled strings for this position." As she leaned in for a goodbye kiss, I recoiled, imagining those lips on Ethan hours earlier. Their code was clear: call him Ethan in my presence. But texts overflowed with baby, hubby, even daddy. That morning call was deliberate, Flirting under my nose probably thrilled them. Fine. Let's play. My investigation revealed Ethan had a wife and 2 kids. His spouse quit work to raise their children, with retired professor-in-laws helping nearby. Hired investigators uncovered another secret. He'd been meeting his married ex-girlfriend at hotels weekly. This jackass maintained his perfect family while collecting mistresses like trophies. Game on. To outsiders, Ethan might seem like the epitome of success, blissful family life, and thriving career. But let's be real, all that glitters isn't gold. The more dirt I uncover on this bastard, the better it serves my purpose. After meticulously gathering evidence and tracking down contacts for Ethan, his family members, his ex-girlfriend, and even her current husband, thank you. Big data era, privacy's officially dead. I set the wheels in motion. When Chloe pulled another working late excuse, I coldly texted back, sure. Don't forget to eat. I'd hate for you to get hungry. Her saccharine reply of you too, hubby, made me snort. That night, parked outside her office with a burner phone, I fired off a message to Ethan's wife. Does your husband often work late? Might want to check his real overtime buddy. Some exes never stay exed. The frantic callback came instantly. I let it ring out. Her follow-up texts, who is this? What do you mean? Got only my breadcrumb response. Ask about the long-term ex. For a woman who's poured everything into her family, that tiny seed of doubt would bloom just fine. Settling back in my car, I didn't wait long. Ethan came scrambling down to the parking lot within minutes. Phone glued to his ear as he sputtered explanations. The sight of that panicked bastard nearly made me laugh aloud. Chloe trailed behind him looking constipated. I hit the gas before she spotted me. Don't underestimate Mrs. Johnson, though. This stay-at-home mom comes from old money, local business-owning parents, 2 protective older brothers, and a reputation for being firecracker fierce. With Ethan's lingering ex-drama and my anonymous tip-off, let's just say Golden Boy's been keeping his head down lately. No more midnight sexting with Chloe. Straight home after work every day. Cue Chloe's meltdown. Like every cliché mistress, she started trash-talking the wife. Why put up with that nagging shrew when you could have me? Please. Men like Ethan want their cake and eat it too. Stable family for show. Side action for thrills. But I needed to fan these flames. I switched tactics with Chloe, no more mister. Nice guy? When we fought, I stopped backing down. Alex, you yelled at me? She shrieked once. You're lucky I didn't slap you. I shrugged. Think whatever you want. My calculated indifference worked. Chloe went nuclear, bombarding Ethan with late-night threats. Ignore me again, and I'll tell your wife everything. Nothing scares an adulterer like exposure. But pent-up Ethan took the bait. They cooked up a business trip scheme. The morning she bounced into our bedroom packing lingerie instead of work clothes. I played dumb. Sweetheart, isn't tomorrow our dinner with your parents? Her frozen smile was priceless. Just a 2-day HR conference. She stammered. I let her squirm. The game's far from over. Chloe was busy rummaging through a pile of clothes without looking up. When can't we have a meal together? This training opportunity won't come again. I sneered. Perfect timing. She and that cheating partner were being cunning, going through elaborate schemes for their affair. The coward was terrified his wife might check with the company. So he actually scheduled a real business trip, leaving Friday, returning Saturday. As for Chloe, her so-called business trip was just a cover to spend the entire weekend with him at a hotel. I'd found the reservation details in her text messages. Ethan was being closely monitored by his wife nowadays, forcing Chloe to handle the hotel booking herself. She'd secretly packed lingerie so provocative she'd never even worn it for me. The next day, Chloe insisted I shouldn't drive her to the train station. I didn't push. Her saccharine I'll miss you couldn't hide her eagerness to meet her lover. After she left, I bought some gifts and went to the Smith family home. Her parents lived less than 2 hours away, her father sporadically employed, her mother a homemaker. Their basement occupied by their unemployed son Lucas gaming all day. Uncle, Aunt, Chloe doesn't know I'm here. Actually, I feigned nervousness. I planned to propose. Her parents exchanged glances. Her mother's smile didn't reach her eyes. Alex, you and Chloe have been dating over a year. Marriage isn't trivial. Of course, I nodded eagerly. Our family should discuss this properly. Chloe's wonderful. My family will show full sincerity. Her father eyed the gifts. We only want our daughter to marry into a reasonable family that values her. Reasonable. Valuing her. Code for extortionate bride price. They'd repeatedly probed about my family's financial status. Local standard dowries range from $8,800 to $66,000. But these vultures wanted more. I smiled. You're absolutely right. Rest assured, our dowry will surpass others. Ensuring Chloe's dignity. Her father cleared his throat. Her mother pounced. Our Chloe has a college degree in beauty. Even after telling matchmakers she's taken. They keep coming. Our neighbor's plain daughter got $200,000 last month. $500,000. I stated. The teacup clattered. $500,000. Her mother nearly levitated. Her father choked on his tea. Alex, your parents agree? I showed fabricated chat logs. We've discussed it thoroughly. Her mother became effusive. Silly me. Forgetting your tea. There's more. I paused dramatically. My fully paid apartment? I'll add Chloe's name to the deed. Their eyes glazed with greed. Fetch Alex fruits. Her father barked. Gunfire sounds leaked from Lucas' room. Speaking of Lucas, I sighed. Uncle. He shouldn't waste his life gaming. Her father threw up his hands. That brat rejects every job, low pay. Hard work. My friend needs a chauffeur, $10,000 monthly for driving clients. Flexible hours. Should I recommend Lucas? They clutched my hands. You'd solve our biggest problem. Her mother shrilled. I always said Alex was perfect for Chloe. I smirked internally. Weren't you forcing her to attend blind dates last month? Whatever. Let the circus begin. Life is a play. It all depends on acting. When Chloe's parents insisted I stay for dinner, I politely declined. My schedule was packed today. I had serious business to handle. I arrived at the hotel Chloe booked at 10 p.m. My contact had been staking out the place since dawn. After Chloe checked in that afternoon, he texted me the room number, 8402. I immediately forwarded this to another person. Buddy, this is all I can do for you. I muttered. Half an hour later, a bespectacled man entered the hotel with a muscular companion. Hiding in the stairwell, I watched the fake bellhop knock on room 8402. When the door opened, the muscle kicked it wide. Chloe's terrified scream pierced the air. The commotion drew spectators. It wasn't that late. And half the floor came running, blending into the crowd. I discreetly recorded everything. Ethan and Chloe stood half-dressed. Panic-stricken, the muscle easily restrained Ethan while the glasses-wearing man materialized a baseball bat. You dare betray me, bastard? The bat cracked against Ethan's stomach. A steel-toed boot followed, crunching into his groin. Ethan collapsed, writhing. The visceral sound made me wince and smirk. No spectator dared intervene. Everyone instinctively recognized this cheating scenario, the kind of drama people secretly relish. Blood gushed from Ethan's nose as Chloe scrambled to wrap herself in bedsheets. Who are you? She shrieked. I'll call the police. Go ahead. The bespectacled man laughed. I'll tell them this John was soliciting hookers. You're the hooker. Chloe's eyes reddened. Your whole family's hookers. Then what does that make you? The man countered. He's got a wife and kids. Are you his spouse? No. Then shut your trap. Ethan moaned from the floor. Can't involve police. The crowd buzzed with voyeuristic delight. Refusing authorities? Definitely cheating. This spectacle starred none other than Ethan's ex-girlfriend's husband, a man whose shoes I'd walked in. Yesterday, I'd sent him photos of Ethan with his ex at this hotel. Want payback? I'd offered. I'll help, provided you don't kill him and ensure he stays silent. Hence tonight's theater. Ethan couldn't risk exposure. His fabricated business trip would unravel, revealing twin affairs that'd destroy his marriage and reputation. The bespectacled man finally relented after forcing Ethan to swear off contacting his ex. Watching Ethan beg on his knees. Pure catharsis. By Sunday morning, Chloe dragged her luggage home exhausted, a vivid red mark staining her neck. Back so soon, baby? I feigned innocence. You should have told me. I'd have picked you up. Training ended early. She lied smoothly. I missed you too much. Her acting remained flawless. TSK. The tongue of a femme fatale is a devil's deceit. I eyed Chloe's neck suspiciously. What happened here? Allergic reaction? We went for cupping therapy at work. Ended up like this. I regret going. She sighed. Cupping therapy? What a lame excuse. I'd noticed the hickey Ethan left on Chloe's neck last night. I'd been curious how she'd explain it. Never expecting this cupping cover story. Chloe exchanged a few words with me before grabbing her phone and retreating to the bathroom under the guise of showering, really to check on her lover's injuries. I bit my tongue. Their carefully planned affair had hit a snag. The beaten Ethan now cowered like a turtle in its shell, avoiding any interaction with Chloe at work, terrified of exposure. He still didn't know who'd exposed his previous affair. Ethan had even convinced Chloe to delete their chat history. Fortunately, I'd already backed everything up. Frustrated by his renewed commitment to family, Chloe's resentment grew. What mistress could accept her prize slipping back to his wife? During our conversations, I deliberately praised Ethan's spouse. Babe, I saw your VP today. He looked so tender holding his wife. What a perfect husband. I extolled Mrs. Johnson's beauty and Ethan's marital devotion until Chloe's smile twitched with suppressed rage. Meanwhile, she bombarded Ethan on WeChat. How long must I wait? I'm done hiding. Days after the confrontation, Chloe's company gala approached at a 5-star hotel where she'd perform solo. I volunteered to create her background video. The night before, I called her parents, uncle/aunt. I'm proposing to Chloe tomorrow. Will you witness it? Of course. We'll keep the secret. They chorused. Oh, about Lucas's job, my friend agreed as a favor. He's practically my brother now. Your family already. They gushed. Already house hunting for Lucas in their euphoria. Let them rejoice. Their impending devastation would be their darling daughter's doing. Next morning, Chloe spent 2 hours primping before departing in designer gown splendor. I knew her game. Executives brought spouses to this gala, and she meant to outshine Mrs. Johnson. After dropping her off, I slipped into the hotel unnoticed. As executives gave speeches, I texted Ethan's wife during his stage moment. A man of Ethan's caliber deserves better. Can forced love taste sweet? When he calls you a shrill, boring hag in my arms. I pity you. Watch my performance tonight and see who truly matches him. Mrs. Johnson's smiling video recording face fell. Every word was verbatim from Ethan and Chloe's chats. This was exactly Chloe's current mindset. Post-speech, Ethan noticed his wife's stony silence. She glared icily at every young performer. Unaware I'd positioned Chloe's parents strategically in the crowd. The real show was just beginning. My phone rang. It was Chloe's parents. Yes, you can come straight in. I'm right at the lobby entrance. Along with Chloe's parents was Lucas. When Lucas learned I'd secured him a cushy, high-paying job, his smile became unervingly bright, addressing me repeatedly as brother-in-law, something he'd never done before. This punk had never respected me deep down. Otherwise, he wouldn't have completely avoided greeting me during my last visit to their home. I returned his enthusiasm with a forced smile. Chloe's performance would begin soon. After her act, I'd immediately take the stage to propose, with full cooperation from her company's staff. When Chloe finally took the spotlight, the stage lighting transformed into romantic hues, complementing her exquisite makeup and off-shoulder gown that revealed her collarbone, making her appear ethereal and sophisticated. The audience gasped in collective awe before erupting into cheers and thunderous applause. Chloe glanced at Ethan seated at the front row VIP table, her eyes flashing defiance as if declaring, "See how young and beautiful I am? How can that old hag beside you compare?" Crossing my arms, I trembled with barely contained excitement. The moment had finally arrived. As the giant screen began playing footage, Chloe lifted her microphone and immersed herself in the performance. She failed to notice the audience's expressions shifting to universal shock. I'd replaced her music video with surveillance footage of her hotel rendezvous with Ethan, the clip showing a half-naked man being beaten senseless, while a disheveled woman screamed hysterically, became exponentially more scandalous when projected on the hotel's massive LED wall. Chloe's parents stood frozen beside me. Lucas blurted out first, "Mom, isn't that Chloe? She's actually cheating? Stop talking nonsense." His mother snapped before turning to me anxiously. Alex. That can't be Chloe. I'd recognize my own daughter. Lucas stubbornly persisted, but that's clearly his father's glare silenced him. I maintained an appropriately shocked expression, though completely feigned. Alex. Her father's voice shook. There must be some misunderstanding. Ethan sat paralyzed, jaw slack and eyes bulging at the screen, mistaking his shock for infatuation. Chloe's smile turned triumphant. Company executives at the front row looked like they'd swallowed flies while crude jeers erupted from the back. Mid-performance, Chloe finally noticed the audience's attention had shifted behind her. As she turned, the screen magnified her disheveled appearance. The microphone crashed to the stage with ear-splitting feedback. I pressed mercilessly. Sir, can you still claim that's not Chloe? Her parents turned crimson with shame. Every eye now alternated between Chloe, Ethan, and Ethan's wife. Ethan whimpered like a begging dog before his spouse. Honey, let me explain. This isn't. His wife remained eerily calm. So this is your promised fidelity. But we all knew the storm was coming. Let's go home first, Ethan pleaded. First your ex. Now this office temptress? No wonder you worked so much overtime. The dam finally broke when Ethan kept lying. Slam. His wife's palm struck the table. Keep lying, and I'll skin you alive. I'll deal with that homewrecker first. Then you. The crowd buzzed with approval. This was the showdown we'd all been waiting for. If Chloe's parents hadn't been standing beside me, I would have cheered out loud. The executives' table was closest to the stage, and Ethan's wife charged onto the platform in 3 strides. Chloe retreated in panic, only to have her hair viciously yanked. What betrayed wife wouldn't want the other woman dead? Especially when Ethan's wife likely believed Chloe had orchestrated this video reveal during the performance to provoke her. Her fist smashed into Chloe's face. Not a slap, an actual punch. While most women scratch and slap, this lady moved like a seasoned boxer. You smug little homewrecker. She spat. Think it's cute to flirt with married men during performances? I'll end you. Chloe shrieked, arms flailing uselessly for defense. The scene exploded into chaos, staff rushing to intervene, audience members shouting, phones recording, spectators relishing the drama. When they finally pulled the women apart, Chloe's face resembled swollen dough. Even her mortified mother had to shield her daughter. Humiliated and enraged, Chloe lost all restraint. Let's settle this today, she screamed hysterically at the legal wife. Eyes bloodshot. He doesn't love you anymore. Your divorce is inevitable. You're just the mother of his kids. What else do you have? Ethan says you're nothing but. Crack. The entire room froze. Ethan himself had slapped Chloe to the floor. You scheming bitch. He roared, finger jabbing at her. You've been harassing me since day one. Even tricked me to that hotel. Let me make this clear. My wife's the only woman I'll ever love. You're not fit to lick her shoes. His murderous glare promised violence. Keep threatening my family, and I'll ruin you and everyone you care about. Job be damned. Chloe gaped wordlessly, just moments before taking the stage. They'd been exchanging lingering glances and secret smiles. Now, facing his wife's wrath, she meant less than nothing to him. Ethan's final threat hung like a guillotine blade. The cheating rat turned to grovel at his wife's feet. Honey, let's go home. Please. Not happening. After all my careful planning? Time for the grand finale. Clutching the prearranged bouquet, I stormed the stage. My pent-up rage fueled the perfect right hook to Ethan's jaw. He staggered, spitting blood and a front tooth onto the floor. Many in the audience recognized me from picking Chloe up at work. This punch was long overdue. I planned to propose today. I choked out, voice trembling with manufactured heartbreak. All this time, with this married loser? What does he have that I don't? Answer me. Cowering, makeup streaked and swollen, Chloe burst into terrified sobs. She looked grotesque. I hurled the flowers at her. We're through. Outside. I finally breathed freely. Weeks of swallowing rage dissolved into sweet relief. Let their karma handle Ethan and Chloe now. One final touch. I emailed the entire company, CC'd Ethan's wife and parents, every damning piece of evidence. Hotel receipts with ex-girlfriends. Hundreds of flirty texts. The unedited affair footage. Let the fireworks begin. The show must go on to satisfy both the victim's family and the online spectators. Whether Ethan's wife divorces him is none of my business. But I'll make sure this bastard gets what's coming. Never thought my years of internet drama consumption would lead me to compiling evidence after getting cheated on. After finishing my presentation, I slept like a baby. Next morning, Chloe was dragged to my doorstep by her Smith family parents. But I refused to let them in. They actually had the nerve to beg for mercy. Alex, you and Chloe have history. Don't do anything rash. I kept my poker face. Since you're here, let's settle this. I thought we'd become family-ID, gain parents and a brother. But now, Alex, calm down. Think this through. Her father pleaded. Chloe's suffered enough. Beat her if you must. Just get it out of your system. Chloe's face was swollen from crying. But I felt nothing. Sir, you're a man too. Could you tolerate this? I tossed out her packed luggage. This isn't a dump for trash. She trembled with rage as I slammed the door. The Smith patriarch immediately started screaming at Chloe on my porch. Useless bitch. We killed ourselves arranging your wedding. Now you lost your job, embarrassed us, and ruined Lucas's career and house plans. That $50,000 betrothal gift from Alex was our last hope. Chloe shrieked back. Since when is buying your precious son's house my problem? You just want to milk me dry? The Smith family slapfest and wailing made for great doorstep theater. I chuckled watching my security feed exactly the family meltdown I'd orchestrated with my earlier promises. Meanwhile, Ethan wasn't faring better. His wife demanded full custody and alimony after his workplace humiliation. When he tried fighting the prenup, his Johnson family parents, retired professors with actual morals, beat him into submission. They just wanted to keep seeing their grandkids. Then came Chloe's desperate move. The Smiths had already put a $10,000 deposit on a house using my betrothal money. With our breakup, they scrambled for loans. Now homeless and jobless, Chloe tried faking pregnancy to trap Ethan. When she showed fake test results at the Johnson residence, Ethan's mom collapsed. Police made Chloe confess the scam. Humiliated Ethan retaliated by trashing the Smith home, leading to another police showdown. One midnight, Chloe called screaming, "Who do you think you are? Alex? I screwed Ethan multiple times. You pathetic simp." I calmly replied, "Oh, you mean those overtime sessions? Don't worry, I CC'd your entire office on those work reports." On the other end of the line, Chloe fell silent for a long moment. Through gritted teeth, she hissed, "Alex, it was you," before she could finish. I hung up and blocked her number. That arrogant bitch who thought she could keep stringing this simp along. When Chloe realizes the truth, she'll probably have a meltdown right on the spot. Trash takes itself out. If the heavens won't do it, I will. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more exciting stories. And drop your thoughts on this one in the comments. See you next time.